Hey, we are power washing for today. We are gonna wash the grime away. And don't fear, there is some lo-fi too. So when I don't talk, there's something for you to listen to. And I'm just gonna tweet this out, babies. My darlings, my dearies. Give me 1 second and I will have this up on Tumblr. Yeah. Link. VTuber streaming. Okay. We have now been established everywhere. Let's hit some more Back to the Future, baby! Today, the Holomax Theater. Hey, Powerwash Services, how's it going? Hopefully you enjoyed your previous time with us and would like to come back for more silver screen jet wash action. We've got the green light for another 2 movies. While we're filming back to back for these, we're time traveling all over the place, back to the wild, wild west of 1885, to the far-flung future of 2015, and even into a bleak alternative present. It's a real mind melter. Unfortunately, the first minds to be melted were those of the production crew. They started to work on the hill, valley town square of the future. They built this incredible looking futuristic movie theater, but they trashed it as if it's in the bleak alternative present. You know what? I'm getting the feeling that I'm in danger of melting another mind here. So let's just say we've got a grubby and strange looking movie theater we'd like you to wash down in your inimitable and excellent fashion. Thanks a lot. That's a little Jersey accent specifically for our for our fan favorite, Miss Lele, Miss Twamina. Let's get going. Hey Power Washer, welcome back to like a small dirty corner of the future. When they finish this set, this entire town square, it's gonna look like it's 2015, if you can imagine that far forward. Also, I've heard some rumors about the film's predictions. I'll run them past you once I found my notebook. Gotta love how it was made in the far-flung future of 2015! And I'm just like, bruh. This movie making me feel old. Hi, Vanessa! How are you? It has been a minute, huh? Last time I saw you was our movie night. By the way, if you'd like to vote for the movie we're gonna watch on Friday, I have that pinned. You are allowed to vote on that. Even if you only come in for the movies and you don't follow me on my stream. Woo 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 woo. No, I'm being silly. You don't have to follow me. Unless you want to. Yeah, it's all of the I'm pretty sure I included, it's just the same movies from last time minus The Shining. So stuff like Videodrome and Black Swan. Trying to think, what was another one I'd put on there? But once I get my next paycheck, I'm probably gonna buy like one or two movies to keep on there. Just for future polls. That or I'm going to find them for free. Cough. That or just like stream it from Tubi or something. I don't know. I will figure it out. Haven't seen any of them, so I'm down for whatever. Cool. Ah, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps get me a little closer to my thing, to my associates package where I will unleash upon all of you so many emoticons, so many beautiful emotes, kitty cat emotes, Furby emotes, and sounds and little triggers for like, hey, Mora, you goofball. Stop focusing so hard on the game and remember you're a human that requires sustenance to live. Drink water. No. Yeah, also stretching. Voluntary mukbang. If you know that term, I know some people are like, ew, what's that? It sounds like porn. Only Game and Monster. I used to drink Monster back in the day of high school, and then I had to stop because it would actually put me to sleep because I have ADHD, and whenever my body gets so incredibly overstimulated, it's just like powering off. And I'm just like, okay, that's what we're doing now. Nighty night. Yeah. Someday you will know this too as you get older. No, I joke. Or do I? But yeah. Getting older's a bitch and a half. I'm in my 30s, if you're curious. And yes, I know, I sound so incredibly young. It's because I have chronic asthma and allergy problems, so I speak a lot from my nose. So I sound really nasally and stuffy. And apparently that's increased the pitch of my voice over time. Hilariously, if you talk to me, my mother, and my grandmother, and my aunt on the phone all at once, you will have trouble picking out which person is which because we all sound the same with only varying degrees. Like my grandmother and my aunt have a little bit of a Chicagoan accent, so whenever you ask them to say something like Washington, they sound like that. Or I washed the laundry. It's like, where's there an R in wash? Where are you getting that from? Yes. Unfortunately, we don't live anywhere near one another, so that would specifically be like a telephone prank. It's mostly whenever either my aunt or my grandmother is calling my mom and I hear them talking on speakerphone and I'm just like, who is that? I am Midwest as well. Well, I wasn't born in the Midwest, but I've definitely been raised here since I was very, very young, so a lot of my accent has disintegrated over time. But Europeans can still very much tell, like, are you from somewhere over there? And I'm just like, no. How do you know that? Then again, it could just be people from outside the US have sharper ears. I've been told this. Yeah, so my grandmother and my aunt and my mom are all from Illinois and so the Midwest. But I am super not. I've mostly been raised in the Southwest. So it's a mixture of twing twang and absolutely no traceable accent to any of the other states because I live in the desert. No, it's not Texas. Because that would be hell for someone like me who uh, is I'm not gonna say disabled or anything like that, but oh boy, they sure don't like to have a whole lot of laws supporting people that don't want to follow traditional gender mindsets or have mental health issues. Yep, all of the trans stuff from them. I want to launch a Texan into the sun. Who let you do this? Then again, their lawmakers have been clowns for quite a while. Hey, there's a real fun trick that the special effects team have done in the movie theater if you want to try it out. Hey, you want to see it? You want to see the special effects trick? Just stand on the special marker on the road and wait for the magic. Huh? Ah, I'm being eaten by a shark. Ah, I'm being eaten. It's so dumb. Can imagine someone with maybe thalassophobia finding that a bit more freaky. Jaws 19. Haha. You were so hopeful for the future, 80s. Yeah, if you ever want optimistic future movies, shit, just look in the 80s. Even Mad Max seems to have a brighter idea of what our futures are supposed to be, and that whole thing is gritty as heck. And in Australia, I believe. I think it was at least originally made in Australia. So what kind of movies do you usually like, Vanessa? What is your favorite recent movie? I am curious. Cause maybe I can find a recommendation you would like. Doesn't have to be a movie that was made recently, just one you watched recently. Could be from like the 90s for all I care. I'm just curious. Oh, you don't normally watch movies? Too little time in the day? Kinda. I also understand it being like a funds issue, because some people it's really rough to try and find stuff that you can watch for free without it being from certain websites. Watch anime or YouTube. Nice. What's your favorite anime that's come out? Especially with movies. I also watch quite a bit of the animes. I could go on that topic for a while. Slime Tensei is pretty fun. Or that time I was reincarnated as a slime, if you want to go with the full title. Most people just call it Slime Tensei. Yeah, Rimuru is super cute. And also feels like kind of a nice non-binary representation. Didn't watch all of it. Yeah, the most recent season is kind of like it's not bad, but the first couple of episodes are lots and lots of talking and very little like doing. But I guess if you're into that, trying to think, what's another good one that came out recently? Windbreaker was kind of okay if you're into like these young delinquents are getting in a bunch of fights and it's a lot of fighting and manly bravado to express feelings. Ah, Rimuru slime on your purse. That's cute. I actually got a really nice Ita bag from. Oh, excuse me. I think the name of the place is Pintaku. They have a store on Etsy, and they actually make Furby Ita bags. An Ita bag being where you can display like pins and buttons and stuff without having to worry about like, oh, what if that pin falls off, or what if that button falls off, or what if someone is like passing by me and just decides, oh, I'm gonna steal your button or damage it because I don't like what it says. And so it keeps them protected in like a little plastic window. The bag unfortunately is like 90 bucks. Hold on, I will post a quick picture. Uh, oh, excuse me. Pentaku. They do all kinds of really funny pins, everything from like weed pins that your girlfriend might be into, to here, I'll share some of these. They're super cute. This is the bag. I have the blue one on the uppermost right corner. And this is one of the silly little weed Furbies. Furby pins. Come on, post the link. Copy copy image address. No. Oh my goodness. Thank you. And that's the one for the little nug. They also do a bunch of like silly little horror ones and other stuff like that that I'm really into. Yeah, so I like to share their stuff around and be like, hey, go check out Pentaku, go check out Pentaku, go check out Pentaku, because they do all sorts of cool shit. I remember they actually had some Pride ones one year where it was Furbies doing S&M. It was super funny. I think I have both of those. both the S and the M. So, yeah. What kind of anime are you obsessed with lately? Or are you in between ones? Like, do you go for the mainstream stuff? Like, uh, God, what's mainstreamish right now? I guess. Hmm. Come on, brain, you can do it. I guess one of the big mainstream ones that came out in recent years was Jujutsu Kaisen, but they're still making the new season. I know that. Dude, I'm so fucking tired of letting opportunities pass by. I just wanted to say hi to someone, just couldn't. Aw, I'm sorry, Joey. Well, you're saying hi to me now. It's practice for the future. So there's that. Nothing specific. I always like isekai. Yeah. Don't watch Mukusho Tensei. Don't watch Mukusho Tensei. Don't watch Mukusho Tensei. uh, that one is so problematic. One that I know that came out if you are really into very curvy, waifus is, uh, chilling in another world as a level 2. If you look up chilling in level 2, you should be able to find it. The like main love interest waifu character is like a wolf demon girl, and she is like very waifu baited. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like thousands of figures of her out already. I think I might stop using the internet. It feels like my browsing history is being broadcasted or some shit. Well, why would you say that? Just weird shit at Google out of curiosity. Well, Google does track some of the things that I couldn't care less about. Yeah, Google does track your shit when it comes to like, hey, your stuff you're looking at right now is like, we're like registering that in a database so that we can try and sell you more Funyuns or something, because we noticed that this specific group of people tend to buy more Funyuns, so we're giving you a bunch of Funyun advertisements. Facebook is worse with that. I'd Google Funyuns, and tomorrow everyone is talking about Funyuns. Well, I think it's because the way that algorithms work, it pushes that up into your search. Also, if you are non-neurotypical, like myself, or like on the spectrum, you tend to be really good at pattern finding, because I've noticed like I will have just watched like an 80-year-old movie or something, and then all of a sudden I see a bunch of references to it everywhere, and it's like, oh, it's just because you watched it and it's in recent memory that it's popping out. But now there's another goddamn thing about it that is making things like it's kind of adding that feeling of like, huh, this almost feels like deja vu, or this feels super weird, I like I am being psychically stalked or something by adware. Oh, I guess I'm living in reverse. If the bag is, uh, you don't even need to Google it. Oh, I guess I'm living in reverse. If the bag is in your view of your phone, you'll get ads. I think there's a word for it. People who experience a similar thing. Yeah, I've heard it called. It's not the mandala effect, because mandala effect means like, oh, because everyone remembers a thing a certain way, that's how it is portrayed in a lot. Like, people remember things a certain way, and then what ends up happening is the piece of media being different. Like, it's just because people's memories are not super accurate. Like, they did in, like, police and crime reporting for witnesses is only something crazy like 50 to 60% accurate, which that is a really low number. That'd be an F on a test. That'd be like a D or an F on a test. That should not be a basis for government, man, or like incarceration. Or if you get a new car and notice them everywhere. Yeah, I mean, Google went away with their whole do no evil shtick that they had in their offices for a while, and everyone always sources that as like a, see, they're being evil now. But I mean, companies aren't your friends. They never have been, unfortunately. Companies are there to make money. There's some that are less evil than others, and I would sooner trust ones like God, what is the name of that company? I think it's called Deathwater. It's literally a company that's meant to help recovering alcoholics and people that are designated drivers not feel isolated or singled out because they're drinking a fucking vitamin water or quote unquote health style water and don't want to be seen as like, oh, you're a narc or you're not a part of the party. And it's all non-alcoholic. It's sparkling water and shit. I don't know. Am I typing too fast? I tend to type a lot when excited. No, you're fine. I'm just looking up and down because I'm doing the game as I'm reading. But me and Vanessa were talking about anime, so I'm probably going to get a lot of anime ads today. Because I'm broadcasting myself over a system that is like, oh, I heard such and so a keyword, so that must mean you want such and so a keyword. Because there's fucking microphones and cameras and everything in everything that we touch now. Like, you talk about, like, oh, I'm feeling like really overweight, or I don't like how I look, or I feel I I need to go to a dentist to get like my teeth whitened or something because they're looking kind of yellow or stained from me drinking coffee. And immediately, bam, like 5,000 ads, 5,000 spams about all of that stuff. For example, they bought a blue handbag, Mora. Sometimes I talk about certain things and feel people are avoiding the topic. Hee hee, give the ads. What's your thought on that? Yeah, that's understandable. It's the internet. But for me, it's the reverse. I don't know who the fuck to trust. Well, I don't think people are avoiding the subject. They could just be, like, not interested in talking about, like, Kit Kats or blue purses or something that day. Like, I know sometimes I'll be like, God, can someone help me find this goddamn piece of music that's stuck in my head? I go to Google. Google's no fucking help. I try and Shazam it. That's no fucking help. I try and look on this, that, and the other. That's no fucking help. And it's just like, no, we're giving you a bunch of ads for things that are similar to this, but we can't actually parse it. So I think those systems are still very inadequate. People aren't NPCs or robots or anything. It's just the perception is seeing patterns or trying to find a pattern because something is strange, but it's honestly a pretty common occurrence I've noticed with myself, and I'll just be like, oh, haha, today is the day that everyone's talking about Flintstones or Flintstones gummies or something, and it's kind of weird. But it's, I don't think it's like anything dangerous. So there are ads in real life. Are people NPCs? No, people are not NPCs. People have their own lives and their own goals and their own aspirations, I promise. Like, my goal one day is to be able to get out of my house, or at least be able to make a living off of doing something online or from my artwork, etc., so forth. Am I following am I following what? Okay, so with the blue handbags. Sorry. Okay, so with the blue handbags, right? Sorry. It's because I'm doing the game at the same time that I'm talking to you, Joey. That's why. And I have ADHD really bad. So you said people with the blue handbags. Is it because I mentioned a blue Furby handbag that I got? That just feels like some interesting, like, happenstance. I mean, there's like a theory in certain circles, none of it is proven or anything like that. This is all pseudoscience stuff about how maybe a different approach and not break it up into different sentences. It's probably a bit much for you having that many different messages. No, it's okay. So you were talking about blue handbags and worrying that people are NPCs that are like regurgitating information or adware at you essentially. Sometimes that can be a symptom of disassociation. If you start to feel like, hey, I don't know if someone's listening to me or something about that, so just make sure, do a double check with others, like providers, before any of that gets violent. I'm just saying right now. So the blue handbag theory, I think if a person gets a blue handbag and a lot of other people got one, they think people are copying them, but it's possible they're just noticing more blue handbags. Yeah, I used to notice that with so I used to wear blue sunglasses everywhere, but then mine broke, and all of a sudden I started noticing other people wearing blue sunglasses because, well, I missed my blue sunglasses. So when you have something you want, you look for it as it occurs, I think. But in our day and age, I also think that unfortunately there are some companies that don't follow certain privacy laws. And if you have certain electronics in your home, like a phone, like Alexa, like all of those. I imagine there is a small fraction of those that do listen for certain keywords to be like, oh, hey, they're talking about needing more laundry detergent. I'm going to give them a bunch of ads for laundry detergent because that way I can make a profit off of some of this ad stuff. I mean, I think it's very normal in this day and age to be worried about privacy and stuff like that with how it's being abused. I don't think that means you need to get off of the internet. I think it just means you need to be careful with the internet. And if it's making you feel unsafe, of course, take a sabbatical. But before you came in, me and Vanessa were talking about anime and isekais and wolf waifus. But I think I might just stop talking to people. I just don't know what to do. Or, maybe you should talk to a professional to seek out some help. But I can imagine if you're in the US, that can be a bit tougher to get to that route, especially if you don't have the funds. Because while you might hear or see certain instances of stuff like that, I think that it's smart to remember, like, hey, it's okay, you'll be safe. Like, what is someone gonna do with the information that you're looking for a blue handbag, Joey? At the end of the day, I've talked to a lot of psychiatrists. Well, psychiatrists can do therapy, but that's usually not their specialty. Their specialty is actually like helping with medical therapy or medicinal therapy. So like prescribing medication, whereas a therapist will help talk you through some of those feelings and say like, hey, well, where does that feeling come from? Let's explore this. And sometimes they can help you find that source, and like maybe it comes from a trauma of someone invading your privacy and stuff like that. My issue isn't for therapists. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because if you're having those feelings and you're experiencing, like, hey, I'm feeling really paranoid, I don't know what it is, because either from, like, brain burn from using certain kinds of substances, or genetics, or other different factors that can cause increased feelings like that, or even trauma that your body has decided, hey, we're in a safe enough position right now, or we're so tired that we need to actually process this thing. Because whenever something happens to us, either good or bad, eventually we have to come to terms with those memories and either process them through our dreams or during our waking life. Yeah, I feel like no privacy. Yeah, well, that can be really rough. By the way, don't read Junji Ito. He has a really rough story about feelings of a lack of privacy. And I know sometimes some of that stuff can be a bit triggering when you're going through that. I don't know who that is. He's a horror manga artist. But if you're not into anime or manga or any of that stuff, he is like the godfather of a lot of modern day Japanese manga, and is cited as like the creator of quite a lot of the best horror stuff from that genre. But honestly, avoiding things that provoke those feelings of paranoia and terror. Not people, but subject matters, or finding a way to process it more gently might help you in your day to day. I know that anxiety can be a factor for just basic paranoia in myself. But again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I am not licensed in any way, shape, or form. Do not take what I'm saying at face value and be like, oh, sure, she's a doctor, she knows enough about this. I'm just saying from my own personal experiences and navigating some of these waters for help for myself. Not every therapist is a not every therapist, not every psychiatrist, not every doctor, not every specialist is a one size fits all for everyone. And sometimes you have to go through a couple of different people before you find someone that you feel like you get that connection and sensation of trust from. Because some people, I actually remember this happening. I was trying to find a new therapist, or to find any kind of therapist in a location near my home, and the person that I talked to, who was barely accepting patients, I talked to him and he said, oh, well, it just sounds like you have depression. So, like, you just need to, like, work on that and get out more. When that was not the issue. The issue was I have ADHD really bad. I'm definitely on the spectrum from the way that I react to people in situations. And so I went away from that experience thinking like, oh, well, my trust is broken and therapists and psychiatrists don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I tried again and I tried again, and then I found one where it's like, okay, this person is actually listening to me. This person is taking what I'm saying seriously and they're giving honest, good advice. So I need to manage what I'm doing and talk to them about going forward and work with them about a plan. And one of the hardest things you are going to have to do during therapy, and if you don't have someone in your life that can help do this for you, like a parent or a guardian or a loved one, like a wife or even a sobriety buddy or someone, it can be really difficult advocating for yourself. Well, why do you think you can't trust a therapist? Shit, I don't even trust my psychiatrist. Well, maybe you should talk to them about those thoughts and feelings. Because sometimes you can actually build those, or you can request a different person going forward, unless they. Sometimes it can be tricky if it's like state mandated or something, and you're just like kind of on a pro bono program that It's just like, okay, well, whoever we assign you with, that's who you're with from now on. And I don't know how different it is from state to state. I know a lot of southern states and more rural states, it's way much more of a problem getting information or finding information for someone that you can talk to, but now there's more telecommunication and telehealth stuff out there thanks to COVID. I don't know, it just feels like people are creepy, stalking, and I don't know, just bad intentions. But for the therapist, it's bad intentions. Well, a therapist isn't there to do anything to you at the end of the day, at least a good therapist. Their goal is simply to hand you tools in order for you to help untangle feelings and better process things. Whereas psychiatrists give you medications, usually, and walk you through different ways to utilize those medications as also tools in your arsenal of fighting mental illness. From my perspective, their goal is to make money, have a better life, maintain me as their client. Yeah, I can understand that, and those feelings are valid in this day and age. That's why when you come and talk to someone, you have to voice that. You have to say, I'm getting a feeling that that my opinion isn't being valued and you're just saying whatever so that I shut up and accept whatever you're telling me. And it's not in the benefit of my health or getting better. Like, I understand they have to follow protocol. Yes. They also have to follow certain things for paperwork and so on. I actually have a family member who um, works in detox, and she says it's literally just about the work that the people I work with do. I can't make them come to group though. I can't make them follow. I can't make them like go and do the exercises I'm giving them as like homework to focus on like mindfulness and to like work on their coping strategies when they're having feelings of relapse, etc. To make sure I am not an immediate threat, which is funny because the survey starts with question that directly affect them, the ones that affect me and don't even attempt to jumble it as if the person doesn't have intelligence to see that. Well, it's I think also asking someone about, hey, are you a threat to yourself or others? It's also like, do you need immediate help? Do you need like someone to seriously help you with the issues that you're going through, and you have enough intelligence to like say that and ask for that? Do you need hospitalization? Because that shows them like, hey, like you're thinking about committing suicide or you're doing something that's harmful. My next visit, if I tell my psych, gonna shorten it, that I can't afford to go there anymore. There's gonna direct me somewhere to make money and have me linked to them so there's some degree and guarantee that I can come back. Well, at the end of the day, if you can't make money, if the therapist that you're going to or the psychiatrist that you're going to is just obsessed with money, you probably need to find a new one, because there are some people out there, some people that I've known, that genuinely do give a shit about others, do genuinely want to help them, and give a very big feeling of safety. Like, I've had case managers and therapists and stuff call me on days where it's very clear they don't have to. They don't have to. They're just being very kind and very gentle to make sure that I'm not a threat to myself or others when it comes to um, my health. That I can letting me know that I can freely discuss, like, if I'm feeling hurt or if I feel like I am cornered, and direct me to the proper sites. Because at the end of the day, they just want you to be safe, I think. That's my plan because I'm done with these visits. Well, if you're feeling paranoid, you may need to see, like, another person. Like, if they belittle the things that you're talking about, or if they're just pressuring you into, like, spending money on services you don't need and shit. If they aren't really responsive, or they don't really engage with you in a plan of care, that's something you need to advocate for. Because as a client, that is what you need. You need a plan of care, because that's what you're going there for. Prediction 3, Jaws 19. Jury's out on that one. I mean, who doesn't want to watch a shark movie? There's so much story there, especially if you branch out to hammerheads. Ah! I fell off. Anyway, the only reason I'm saying this is because, well, if you don't have a specialist that you can, like, check in with every now and again, sometimes things get a little bit hairy. And at the very least, they keep you accountable for everything from, well, sobriety to making sure that you keep up on taking certain medications, to, like, asking you to do certain exercises and teaching you coping skills. I know it's not for everyone, but it can definitely help sometimes. So yeah, on a slightly lighter topic, anime. uh, there's another one that's super cute. If I really like a lot of the designs. It's called how to shoot. What was the name of that? What was the whole name of that thing? It was how to something, how to protect your elf bride, something like that. And the premise is sorcerers are generally viewed as, like, these bad evil guys, but they're very much needed in, like, a coming war against demons and stuff. How to tech your health pride. How to tech your health pride. No, how to treat your elf bride. How to treat your elf bride. It's about a, yeah, how to treat your elf bride. And the guy is an absolute social anxiety goob. And that he doesn't know how to treat people because his whole life he was an orphan, and he was kind of he was a street rat, and people didn't treat him all that nicely, and he was almost sacrificed by this sorcerer guy as a kid, who he murdered and stole the guy's castle. And since then, he's been a sorcerer, which is viewed as like, oh, well, you're evil if you're a sorcerer. But if you're a holy knight, you're like a good person, even though it's pretty much just two sides of the same coin. It's like in D&D being a sorcerer or a cleric slash paladin. The tunes should be audible. I mean, you might like the anime. I can link it to you if you'd like, Joey. Yeah, I cranked it up. I had to lower it because before Tumina said she couldn't hear me over the music. And I don't know if it's too loud or too quiet or what. I get controversial statements. For what I'm about to say, I can't say how watching anime is time consuming. Well, yeah. Especially if you watch it subtitled. And every episode is like 20 minutes to an hour, depending on which show. Oh, you need to focus on career. Yeah. Well, some people watch it with, some people watch it dubbed so that if it's something you've seen already a billion times or whatever, you just have it on in the background. It's just, like, it's too distracting. Yeah, not everyone can multitask. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, I struggle to do one thing at a time, and that's probably to my detriment because that means I run the risk of fucking up more often. Or like, not possible for my life. Yeah, well again, I'm ADHD as shit. Candy Cane can attest to this. Oh, that's cool. I'm not gonna rag on you for not watching anime or focusing on your work instead of watching anime. Everyone is entitled to their own free time and whatever the hell they want to do instead of watching anime. It's just a pastime some people have because it's like, oh, the animation is fun, etc. so forth. So when they find out I don't watch anime, it's sometimes a bit not gonna go well. Well, then they should say, well, do you watch something else? Or do you listen to podcasts or anything like that while you work? What is the thing that you use to kind of bear with some of the tedium of the everyday? Because that's pretty much just people saying, this is my coping strategy for being bored. And when someone says, that's not my coping strategy, some people just don't get that. Some people don't understand, well, wait, why don't you use this coping strategy? It's so much fun! Now I'm curious if you listen to podcasts, or if you are just raw dogging your work out there. Just no music, nothing. No podcasts. and I can't do stuff like that. Well, that is impressive, I'll say that much. At least you're focused. I think a lot of that also comes from the reason a lot of people watch or listen to stuff, it comes from FOMO, fear of missing out. And it's this perpetual feeling that humans have because, I mean, we're predators that use tribalism in order to make us more powerful than our predators with like wolves and big cats when we were monkeys and Neanderthals and then hominids. And so because of that, you don't want to be singled out from the tribe. So if someone is talking like, oh, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, and like maybe you don't like the fantasy genre, maybe you don't like medieval history, or the content of that is too graphic and brutal for you, but you still get that feeling of like, oh, well, I'm missing out because everyone's really excited and talking about this. It's kind of like for me when people were talking at endless length about what's one when some people were talking about different games, like I'm trying to think of a good example, like Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm like, oh, well, I can't play that right now. Or people were talking about Skyrim back in the day, and I'm like, oh, I can't play that. My PC is garbage and can only run like 16-bit games. And, oh, I can't really do that because I'm in the middle of college right now, and I don't have the time for playing stuff like that. Like, I definitely get that feeling of FOMO. But I do listen to audiobooks on treadmill sometimes, but most of the time during work and treadmill I listen to music. Nice! Yeah, it's always nice to have a little distraction when you're doing something repetitive, because I think it's the rare brain that actually likes super repetitive stuff. Like, I can go into Zen mode doing spreadsheets and stuff, but there's still like a couple of things where I'm just like, okay, I'm getting like I'm feeling the inside of my skull as my brain is trying to escape. Most of the time before work, but that's before I've given up in life. Now I only listen to music on treadmill. Well, maybe you should get back into those habits of like listening to an audiobook or something that you care about. You know. studying. Going out exploring super aesthetic mossy woods. Probably gathering truffles. I was just about to say that. Petting her cat. Is she a superhero or does she have a dull retail job? Well, she's studying, so I think she's just a student. I don't think she has a job. Because that apartment is too fucking nice for her to be working as well as studying. You know, that's a common trope in real life that people spend their time doing something until it breaks them and just well, change has to come at the cost of something sometimes. Sometimes it's your bad habits that it comes at the cost of for you to change that shit. But I don't know what that has to do with Lo-Fi Girl. Yeah, one sec. There, how's that? I like this song, it's nice. That way it's softer for views. The song is louder than others for some reason. Okay. It's probably the guitar in it. There we go. Hopefully that helped. Sorry, guys. And gals and non-binary pals. Okay, arches, arches. Which Archie arch? Ah. I found you. You will be cleaned. Entry pilaster. Grr. Inner arch keystone. Bam. Bam. Keystone. Got you. Got you. I think that's all of them. Nope, still missing one. There we go. Hey! Let me know if you need me to turn it up or down. Let's see. Outer arch. Oh! That light is filthy. Jaw sign 19. People are quite loud tonight outside because of football, even though the match is over. Rip Sage. Did someone lose at the footy? What? I have a hard time understanding the excitement for sport. Yeah, unless you're physically attending it, and then I'm just kind of like, eh. And even then, baseball is kind of like, eh. I can understand getting like riled up over hockey, because knife-footed ice gremlins be throwing punches on the regular. Dude, I like used to in a sport. Oh yeah? What sport did you used to in? And even as an athlete, watching it is cringe. Yeah. Yeah. I never really understood a lot of the hype for like high school sports and stuff, and like, oh yes, we're offering you a college whatever for being in this, because it's like most of those people are not going to need a higher education, unfortunately. They did a joke on Squidbillies about that once upon a time, an Adult Swim show. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, so I had to condition myself to be ready to understand. It's about the social aspect of it. Yeah, people also like being a part of teams, I think. It appeals very much to, again, the tribalism in all of us. There's an instinct to want to belong. Getting drunk, eating, acting like they know what the athletes are doing. Yep. Not to mention all the people that bet money on it and then act like, ooh, I could have gone out there and done better. It's like, okay, well, you aren't out there and you're 300 pounds of not muscle, so chill the fuck out. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that over pool or darts or a movie club. Yeah. I mean, y'all are watching me do a power washing game and y'all are acting pretty civilly. I don't understand how someone doing a sports can't do the same. Heck, Twamina showed me a pretty good one about people that competitively play Smash, and this one guy who got really good at playing a character that had a really low ranking. The character being Yoshi. It's the people who never played a day in my life I don't get. I think it's because it's the assumption of skill or knowing how a certain skill feels, even though they've never had that. They don't know what it's like to run or do football stuff. Like, they could barely hold it out in like their maybe like a work program softball team, and yet they're yelling at like a Major League Baseball player who can throw a pitch 90 miles per hour or some crazy shit. It's the arrogance. Yeah, it's like, I think it's because it's treated so much as an entertainment thing, and people get so easily bored and frustrated when they don't see anything entertaining go on. Like, they're like, come on, dance for me, monkey. It's like, they're human beings at the end of the day. Gots to chill out. That's how I used to feel when I used to work. Yeah. I always had the vibe from others. Dance, monkey, dance. Yeah. Whenever people say get on that grind set, I just think of an organ grinder. Put on the hat, monkey. Do your little dance. Okay, sidewall. Signboards, Shaw's 19 sign, god damn it. It's like barely. If it's showing orange somewhere, I'm not frickin' seeing it. This is such an annoying level. Time to go wacky waving inflatable tube man on this. There we go. Turret wall. Turret wall, turret wall. Where are you? Turret wall. Signboard. Aha! Well, where does it expect me to spray? Also, I can Google stuff about anime I can read fairly quickly. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think, what's a good one that I've watched recently? Oh, sorry. What'd you say? If you could eat dinner with any fictional character, who would you go with and why? Bonus points if I know them. I'm trying to think. Any character. Probably Astarion. Because he seems like he'd be really fun to, like, hang out with. Maybe Karlak. Actually, you know what? Changing my answer, 100%. I would want to go and eat dinner with Karlak because she seems like she would appreciate it. From Baldur's Gate 3. You should change your mind. Astarion would eat you. LOL. I don't want that, though. I said Karlak. Is it just the whole of this that is fucked, or is it just this section? Yeah, it's the whole. Yeah, she definitely would have some fun stories, and she seems like she's super chill. And if anyone was mean to you, she could kick their ass with impunity. Karlak would defend my honor. For me, it's probably the two girls from Jennifer's Body. That movie was so dull to me, man. She'd be fun to talk to. What honor. How dare you, madam? Throws down white glove. What about you, Sting? Huh? Ha ha ha. Fucking chase me. How we attract to ones who do this. There we go. Hello, Max Jaws 19. Seen the movie theater? It's practically sparkling. Looks just great, and you've got us right back on schedule. Can't wait to see Marty's face once we're all set up and that shark flies out at him. Can't tell you exactly what's next, but keep your pager handy. We're probably going to need you again very soon. Thanks a lot. I think this is the last one. Hey pal, thanks for fitting us in again. We're wrapping up third and final, and we do mean final, film now, and boy is the schedule getting tight. We went back to Wild West in this one, which naturally means we've got a time-traveling steam locomotive. How else is Doc gonna ride those timelines? I'm not sure what's happened, but the time train looks like it's been driven through a rainbow. Don't know if it has anything to do with some multicolored logs that we used in an earlier scene to get the Old West train up to 88 miles per hour. Regardless, we need it clean for our next shot. I'll leave you to it, and you know what you're doing. And thanks a lot. Fight me, I have a sword. I also have a sword. Everyone has swords. We're in a medieval fantasy game. You're not special. Kitty, you have a claw sheath on your tail. Oh no, that's a piece of cardboard. Never mind. Come here. Oh, it's a cat. It's a cat. I have to put him on his chair because he thinks that my desk is a bed. There, good boy. He curled up and sat on his chair. I'd eat dinner with fictional cats so I can pet them. Good answer. What kind of fictional cats? Like the Cheshire Cat? Hello again. Looks like this is going to be our last job together. It's the final scene of the entire trilogy. Yeah, that was a bit creep. Da, da, da. Trying to think. If you had a superpower, what would you want to have? I mean, I know it's a super generic question, but some people come up with some interesting ones. I think mine would definitely be like teleportation or something. But like you can teleport with your clothes or like groceries and stuff instead of just being just like, oh, you have to teleport like the frickin' like in Terminator where everyone shows up naked with no guns. Because only biomatter can be transferred through. Yeah, I would say probably, yeah. I would want teleportation. Because then I could like go across the world and like visit a friend, or I could probably save quite a lot of money just like going and like delivering a package for someone or something, or picking things up instead of paying like $3 to $4 for handling fees from Amazon and shit. That would definitely be my favorite. Also going to visit people, like my friend. Wahahaha. Some funky neon paint there. think I like healing powers, but now I like something that could fix bigger problems. Yeah, healing might be nice, but God, can you imagine like all of the guilt because people would probably like want to come to you and be like, "Hey, like fix my problem. I have like terminal cancer," and because you only have like so much blood in your veins and so much time every single day, you can only like allocate to like help and save so many people. And people would probably allocate blame to you. You could like, what about a skill for like neutralizing radiation or something? That'd be a cool one. Like maybe you could go to like cancer wings. I don't think I feel so bad if I knew I was doing what I could. Yeah. I was thinking specifically about the thriller monster when I said that one. Because that's the crux of the entire thing is the dude is a world-renowned neurosurgeon, and he ends up foregoing a patient that came in first for favor of a rich client that donates specifically to the hospital at the request of the uh, director. And the wife of the man who died is like blames her for her husband's death. Blames him for her husband's death. And so he ends up saving a kid who got uh, shot in the head but was still alive, and they were trying to save in favor of like the mayor who had also shown up at the same time with an issue with some kind of embolism or something. And the mayor died, but the kid lived. And they pretty much took the case from him and tried to turn it into like a puff piece and stuff. And it turns out the kid was crazy, and the reason his sister shot him in the head was because she found out what he was. He was a monster. But yeah, that's a fun one. It's also, I'm not going to say beautifully animated, I think it's nicely designed. It has some very good proportioning and stuff. But the animation is nothing to write home about. Drive rod. Wheel well, wheel. Wheel well. Wheel well. What's another fun little question? Him. If you could speak to any type of animal in the world, which would you choose to understand? I mean, I know my choice is cat, because cat is probably going to be the most common. Dogs? You'd be so rich. Why dogs and not cats? 100% dolphin. Dolphins are creepy rapists, man. You gotta watch out for that shit. Yep, they seem like fun people to be around. No, dolphins, so if you look up anything about the shit that they do under the sea, it's fucked up and weird. Because people spend more money on their dogs. Dogs are easier to reach and they're portable. True, I guess. Eh. Yeah, this is getting a bit heavy for stream. Sorry. I don't know about you, but this is exactly how I'd expect a time machine to look if it were made by an inventor who traveled to the future from 1885. So, I think it'd be hard to be in a bad mood after talking to a dog. Yeah. They always seem so very excited about everything, but oh man, I think the amount of energy that they have is just a little bit too excessive, and they're very invasive with space, so I think I'd be a bit worried. Whereas talking to a cat might be more chill. Like, they let you know what they want for the most part, but unless they want or need something, they're kind of standoffish sometimes. Some are nicer than others. But you wouldn't have to own a dog, you could just go home and close the door. True. True. Just talking to people's dogs. Letting them know what good boys they are. Out of curiosity, which Disney villain do you sympathize with the most? Because now we're getting into heavy shit. Trying to think. I can rule out Gaston and Lady Tremaine. Can rule out, you know what? I think though I already have my answer since I was a kid. Like, I kind of feel it a little bit with Maleficent, and it's like, fuck that bitch. She didn't invite me to her party, her christening. That's like one of the rites we fairies do. You think you're smarter than me, you little shit? Fuck you. Yes. Of course mine is Maleficent. Mine is of course Maleficent. I'm all about that jaded life. That fuck you mentality sometimes. When people are being assholes. Let's see, there's the Queen of Hearts. But hers is kind of like petty jealousy and shit, and like wanting to have things her way and thinking everyone is a trifling hoe. There's Gaston, there's Dr. Peltier from Princess and the Frog, there's I'm gonna put a moratorium on any of the Pixar villains. Because that way it helps narrow our scope. There's Jafar, there's maybe Ursula. Yeah, she did just kind of like do her job for the most part. She told people like, hey, I can offer you whatever you want, but it's gonna cost something, and then everyone seems to think like, oh, okay, well, I can get off scot-free without paying this thing you're telling me I need to pay. And it's just like, okay, so you're a welcher on your debt to this sea person, this octopus woman. Like, you need to pay up or, like, not accept the deal. Also, I mean, she's fabulous. She's based on an actual drag queen, Divine. She got exiled for sorcery, called out sexism, then she makes deals where she does as written. Yep. I mean, she did kind of cheat a little bit with Ariel's, but we didn't see if she cheated with the other ones. Because she actively tried to seduce Eric before Ariel. To be like, oh, you lost, uh-oh, oh no. But beyond that, like, we don't ever see Triton really doing all that much as a ruler. Other than, like, having a lot of children and throwing, like, a gala that his own daughter was kind of like, I don't want to participate in this. And then got mad. She didn't cheat because the contract didn't say she could interfere. It was a villain thing to do, but lawful. True. True. Did you actually read it? I never had the I never, like, stopped and read the contract to see, like, oh, is she, like, actually following through? Is there, like, some small, like, trick or anything like that, etc. in the contract she makes? No, I don't think it was legible. I think some of it was, but it wasn't very very legible to the point where you could probably pause it on screen. I was just going off dialogue. Yeah. But it's hard to pick any. I don't think any of them are sympathetic. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point, is you don't really get to see things from their point of view. I'm trying to think of one that ever did. I think the closest is Mother Gothel from, like... Mother Gothel, probably maybe Lady Tremaine, and, I think Maleficent is probably one of the only other few where you see it from her perspective. Because so much is dedicated to, like, all of the boring shit with Aurora, and... yeah. Cusco was spoiled and unfit. Yeah, maybe Yzma. But so is she, so... yeah, she's like, oh, well, if he can do that, I should be able to. Yeah, did you know that the original script for that was actually going to be way more Aztec themed instead of like the silly kind of buddy cop duo? Or, sorry, wait, Aztec? Yeah, Aztec, not Mayan. I was thinking for a second, I'm like, wait, which one is the Peruvian one? And it's, yeah, I think it's Aztec, I'm pretty sure. Because Aztec is Peru and Mayan is Mexico. Time Train is based on the legendary Sierra Railway number 3 locomotive, which is a total Hollywood legend in its own right. Oh, I missed that dialogue. Well, I will post this later on YouTube so y'all can go back and watch it. Yeah. That movie is so good. That's probably one of my favorite Disney movies. Next to like Lilo and Stitch. Like, 90s Disney has no right being as good as it was. Like, late 90s Disney. Fucking Pocahontas. Ew. Yuck. Like, just so much of that is such a train wreck, and I'm not even talking about, like, politically. Like, fucking half of the Powhatans don't have noses. What are we doing? I think it has good movies in most decades. Sort of. I know the Xerox era, a lot of people were kind of bored or annoyed by some of the movies. Like 101 Dalmatians, The Rescuers, Jungle Book. What were other ones on there? Robin Hood was a good one. That's one that a lot of women cite as like, oh man, if anything could turn me into a furry. Sir Robin. Yes, he was. He was a banger. He was a heart stealer, baby. He was such a little cutie pie. I wonder who he's voiced by, or was voiced by. Also, the music in that was just so fun. Even though, like, so much of the animation is, like, repeats from like, reborrowing cells from other animations and stuff. It kind of makes you not care. Even though it's like, hey, why does that look familiar? It's like, whatever. I would whistle, but it would probably peak the mic and cause everyone horrible ear pain. So I'm not going to do that. Also, props to that rooster bard. He was super fun, and his singing was amazing throughout that entire movie. Cocks out for rooster bard. Haha. Uh, I also always kind of like the manic energy of Detective Basil in The Great Mouse Detective, but that was more late 90s animation, and that was more Buena Vista Studios that did that, which is like a subsidiary of Disney, but they kind of don't count. It's kind of like saying all Pixar movies are Disney. It's like, yeah, they just kind of own it. They didn't specifically go out to make it. They're just a distributor at the end of the day. Puppy, now is not the time. Puppy, no. He's being annoying. I'm trying to think. Oh, a lot of people are like, if I was a dog, I would totally have picked Tramp from Lady and the Tramp as like my dog husband. Because I mean, he straight up had some fun little date ideas rearing and ready to go. Little spaghetti eating scene, so freaking cute. I know a lot of people cite that as like, oh, it's a really bad movie, but I actually thought Lady and the Tramp was pretty decent. It's a cute idea having a movie from like what would otherwise be like a side character's perspective. Not my kind of dynamic. I mean, it kind of runs in the same feeling of stuff like, oh, well, he's a playful cat and she's a well-to-do little spoiled princess that doesn't really know the ways of the world. I mean, they kind of had something like that with the Aristocats, but I don't think they really um I don't think they really like polished the character of like the mom cat all that well. She was just kind of like, yeah, I'm a MILF and here are my kittens. And he was like, I'm down for that. I will become stepdad. Which, I mean, that's pretty admirable for, like, a character to step up and be a stepdad. I don't think there were any Disney movies that had really had that. Everybody wants to be a cat. I'm telling you. Easier to portray a single mother as an animal. Fucking Disney, jeez. Yeah, I don't think they had single moms and... Gosh, I'm trying to think of a Disney movie. That had a single mom. I know we have, it was easier when she was a cat. Yeah, you don't gotta look at all of the outrage of like, why are these animals living out of wedlock? It's like you're literally getting upset about fictional cartoon animals not being married and having children. Okay. Shall I get your white coat and your pills, madam? The animals are living in sin! Oh, man. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a single mom sort of thing. I guess technically with Treasure Planet, Jim Hawkins has a single mom, but that was like all the way up in the 2000s. Jeez. Was Andy's mom a single mom? Because we never see Andy's dad. Yeah, true. Like very little screen time compared to Duchess. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you wouldn't really call Nani a mom because she's Lilo's sister from Lilo and Stitch. Going through the category. Nothing with Jane, nothing with Hercules. Hear nothing about Quasimodo. We don't know much about Jim's mother, yeah. I agree. My dog is being a pain in the butt. Jasper, chill out. You can wait a bit. Hey Lele, my dog is being crazy. We're talking about Disney MILFs. I mean, Disney moms. Hold on a second. I need to go take Doggo outside. Be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. Gals and non-binary pals. Thanks. So, how is college, Lele? Hanging in? What is your major? Teacher's a dumbass, I want to punch it. Software development. Nice. What kind of software are you hoping to develop? Looks like you're nearly done, so I just want to say how great it has been having you on set. In 3 years, I don't know how to program. Oh no! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. I literally have no idea how you store all that water in that backpack of yours. Honestly, you and your gear belong in another of these movies set even further into the future. Yeah, seriously, where's all the water? Because, like, 3 gallons alone is like 35 pounds. Yeah, I should have learned by now, but I always try to learn and I drop it. Oh. Supposedly there's helpful stuff online to help you learn. Sting can program like a tiny bit. Everyone encourage them! Encourage Sting. Do it. Well, don't feel bad about it. Just, like, say, oh, well, I'm gonna make a plan and actually, like, do it at X time. Or in X, like, for X reason. Because I have such and so an end goal. That way you can make more realistic decisions instead of just locking into it and expecting yourself to be a savant immediately and eat, breathe, and piss coding. I really don't have any goals in life, really. I don't feel like I like anything that much, really. I don't have any passions. Well, it's fine to just enjoy existing in life. Not everyone has that magical moment where it's like, yes, I have found my divine passion in life, and this is what I want to do, and this is all I ever want to do. Because at the end of the day, that's more of an obsession than a passion, isn't it? Like, what is the thing that separates those two? I'm a bunny-shaped husk. You and me both, sister. Yeah, it's a bit of like trying to find little things to like gear yourself towards, I suppose. Yeah. Uh, Come on. Really can't hop up there. Dumb. Fine, I'll get the step stool. Her. Even still. God damn it. Ugh. Filthy, filthy, filthy. Yeah, I mean, I constantly am starting projects that I have not finished, and when I actually do finish one, it feels like a freaking monumental accomplishment. Like, creating my VTuber avatar. That one took probably 2, 3 weeks of time. I don't know. But that was something that I would put on my list each day to be like, okay, we are working on this each day. You're going to save some games and not play them ahead of time so that you can record it and actually have blind playthroughs that you can do. Got it? Good. The thing is, I feel like I'm wasting my life losing potential, wasting time, being still, doing nothing. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how a lot of people feel, because what is the thing that everyone is constantly telling you to do? To grind, to hustle, to crunch, to push yourself harder, better, faster, stronger, more, 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 more. And at the end of the day, humans aren't meant to do that. Humans aren't meant to work for 40 hours a week in like dark cubicles or without sunlight for long periods of time, or not being able to talk to other humans for long periods of time, or doing the things that we enjoy and like, which can be a downside of some educational systems and uh, some work systems, unfortunately. Because a lot of corporate America and, well, corporate capitalism in general doesn't care about happiness. They care about selling the idea of happiness to people that can pay for it. I started with TV, then video games, and the ball really started going. Then I started working longer, life got a lot better, but I fell back into games and videos, but that's after being laid off. Real. I'm back into watching YouTube. Yeah, well, it can also be because you're focusing more into, like, certain habits, I suppose. Because if you focus more on your healthy habits and you actually combat those feelings of, like, oh, well, I need to, like, grind my ass off, and I need to work, and I need to do this, that, and the other thing. I would not recommend it because it's bad for your mental health, personally. From the other side, looking at the grind, a cope mechanism will be it's not worth it. I don't think that's a coping mechanism. I think that's people being realistic with certain mental health standards. Yeah, it's bad for mental health and emotional and possibly physical health and spiritual health. Yeah. I mean, fuck. Why do you think, like, as long as. Why do you think so many, like, people, like, are looking for these people with, like, thousands of hours of experience and or education for these fucking entry level jobs? It's because they want someone who knows their place and is willing to be a cog in a machine that falls into step, or knows someone enough that they can get hired based on either nepotism or just general networking. That's what most things are based on now, sadly. It's kind of fucked. I just subbed to see your channel. I see cars. You see cars? What do you mean cars? Oh, it could be because like one or two of the other things on my channel is a video of like a cat or something on there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get rid of those. Car equals cat. Yeah, well, it was a stray cat that was outside by our cars. Yosh, many kitties, many fluffy babies. They are very soft. No, it's your cat. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know which it was. I see so many people typing blah 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 car when they're talking about cat videos and stuff. It's kind of funny. I think people do it because it drives interaction. Say, well, thank you. I'd appreciate that. Doo -doo -doo -doo. Bill support. Let's see. Furbies enjoy subs. Nom 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 nom. Bunny bit me and Vanessa said it was because I'm salty. Do you guys have a pet rabbit or something? Where did you find this bunny? Wonder if it's because I haven't showered. Maybe you smell like lettuce. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, it was at your grandma's. Bunnies are also just kind of temperamental sometimes. And I don't mean that as like, oh, bunnies are crazy. It was more like, bunnies are very sensitive over everything and can get overstimulated. I actually used to follow this guy. He had a pet rabbit and he had a pet snake. And the rabbit bit him. The snake did not, except for the one time he was like drunk and not really paying attention, just kind of fucking around. He tries to bite everything that touches his cage. That sounds like he might be territorial. What a little weirdo. What a weirdo. What a little weirdo. Car window awning. That's not what I wanted. I wanna get the roof. There we go. I think it's in the is that food kind of way since they're hard to be held. Yeah. I mean, rabbits in general don't like being picked up because they're a prey animal. Oh, is Vanessa a fan of me washing the train? Oh yeah, wash this filthy, dirty train for you, Vanessa. Oh, I said Vanessa. Watch this filthy, dirty train for you, Vanessa. Hee 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 hee. Cab coupler, cab coupler. Is it going to flash? Where that is? Cab, 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 cab. Ah, there it is. Maybe I'm missing a side. There we go. This verb will give you good luck. Wee 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 wee. I wiggle my ears for you. You're wiggling for good luck. Yeah, I'm a luck wizard. Actually, I don't think you can sub if I'm not an associate. Can you? I don't think so. Cab door hinges. Let's see. Cab door. Hinge. Hinge. There we go. How is that a hinge? Yeah, there's no sub button because you can't sub to someone that isn't an associate. Because they don't do ads for people that aren't sub or aren't associates yet. Heat exchange pipe. Welcome back, Vanessa. Can Coffee or Patreon? I don't have either. I should probably establish that. Well, thank you. I'll let you know if and when I put that up, buddy. Ah! And maybe I'll draw you in art. Do 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 do. Oh, reactor cooling vent. Get much better rates with coffee and Patreon. Yeah, I've heard Twitch and YouTube kind of fuck their creators over quite a bit. Which is sad. Don't do that to your creators. You're not paying them to create all that much, YouTube. At least not most of them. Okay, this one. Oh, it's these. Alright, got that one. Let's see if I can manage this. Did you know the game Ultra Kill? No, I have not heard of it. What's that one about? Ah! Just try the hopping method. Gonna put this right there. Aha! I have not seen or played the game Ultra Kill. I know a bunch of my friends are super into Helldivers right now, which I'm just kind of like, I don't want to run around and kill bugs. I don't like bugs. I can't do bugs. I don't have like arachnophobia or anything, but at the same time, it's just like, don't make me. Like, I'm fine with like cute little pill bugs or something, but cockroaches, spiders, tarantulas, all those are. No, thank you. I think the only spider I've ever stanned was that Drider from Baldur's Gate 3. Let it be known. Romance Carnus, when? For those that don't know, Carnus is a part spider, part human Drider man that you run into in Chapter 2 of Baldur's Gate 3. Drive wheels. But yeah, Ultra Kill is a cool indie game. The point is that there was a Twitter post about pirating indie games, and Hakita, the developer, said that Ultra Kill wouldn't exist without the easy access of media. Yeah, I can see that. I have some friends that kind of yar some games, especially, and I can definitely see why you would want to play a game in the face of things like people abusing FOMO to try and keep a user base or people abusing certain practices like but his best line was culture shouldn't be only available to those who can afford it. Bro cooked with that. Yeah, I agree with that. That is a good sentiment. Cause there's so many people that like video games, but they either can't afford them or they're straight up not distributed in their country because there's quite a few countries that straight up have banned a lot of games or won't let people like just they're thinking like, oh, this wouldn't be popular here, so we're just not even gonna bother. And so now in the age of the internet, you're seeing way more people that are where is this electrical system distribution? You're seeing a lot more people that are either finding alternate ways to distribute them or they have they're now starting to port things more and more on Steam. Help Vanessa with some logistics nonsense. Best of luck. Ah. I think probably one of the saddest things to know as someone who absolutely loves the horror game Silent Hill 2 is that a lot of the existing ports of it and the remake they tried to do, or no, not remake, remaster was kind of garbage, and the remake that they're doing is made by a frickin' Blooper Team, the creators of Layers of Fear, which I didn't find that game scary. It was mostly jump scare kind of stuff, and it's just like, come on, that who is that frightening to? The same group of teenagers that were like, ah, over The Conjuring and such. Like, I didn't find it all that scary or disturbing or anything like that. The plot was really weak, and I didn't come away from it with like a feeling of like fun or being altered. It's just a walking simulator for shit's sake. Car flux boxes. Okay, car flux boxes. Ah! Car flux. It's the heat. It's a steam dome. Cylinder. Oh, steam chest pipe. There we go. Temporal field amplifier needs more washing. Reactor car time loop knives. Car flux box. There it is. And smoke box railing. No. Let's see. Smoke box railing. Tachyon. No. Smoke box. Time loop knife. Smoke box railing. Okay, so that's a knife. Actor, car, time loop knife. Aha! Found you. Smoke box railing is the last one. And I think that's at the very front. Aha! Uh-oh. The train, she's a taking off! That... that's not how trains work. Oh, okay. Yep. Well, we've done it, folks. We've finished the Back to the Future pack. Let's do some more main job stuff. Our fire station's mucky as a pig pen. By the way, we're gonna have a movie night on Friday. And so if anyone wants to join in, watch us on movie night, hang out, feel free. We don't do voice. So everyone watches muted, and you can comment in the chat during things that are happening. I think the ones that we have up right now are Videodrome, Black Swan, Amityville, the Amityville Horror, Watership Down, The Taking of Deborah Logan, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Hold on, I'll just go look. Let's see. We also have Choose or Die was one of them, which is a modern horror movie that is it pays a lot of homage to classic horror stuff. With it, it's about a killer video game that you have to choose between two options, which monkey paw like will cause something horrible to happen. And when each of these things happens, the user will gain some sort of net benefit. Either some form of healing, gaining access to money and fame, etc. But if you manage to win the game, you become the boss for the next game. So the next person that comes to take you on, you are now the goal for them to defeat. It's actually a pretty cool movie. And I don't say that about a lot of modern horror, which I feel like is kind of lazy and doesn't really think itself through very well. Or doesn't have very visually appealing aesthetics. I actually like quite a lot of 80s, 90s, 70s horror. There's something almost kind of relaxing about it. This should actually be fairly easy to do because I am ahead money-wise from doing the DLC packs. So the power from my washer is a bit stronger than it would usually be because otherwise you have to go back through and do all of this cladding again with a much higher powered washer. I may still have to do that actually. Nice. Okay, cladding trim. Okay, that was fine. Then we will move over to here. Jeez, it looks like the fire station was on fire. How very not cash money of them. Hey, how's tricks? Still love spraying your jet around? Narrowly missed out on another RV today. This thing was uglier than a chihuahua chewing on a wasp, but it would have been my little wasp chewing chihuahua. I have a sweet little potato in front of me asking for attention. Potato. Potato. No, kitten, it is not time yet. She's bugging me because she wants a TREAT. No, baby. No. No, honey, go back to bed. It's not time. Go, go, go. Move your butt. She thinks she's slick. Trying to come back up here. I got the salt shaker, baby. On lockdown. I don't do anything to her with it. I just shake it at her. She doesn't like the noise. And she leaves. She's behaving herself now, grooming. Dang it. Oh, am I stuck? I think I am stuck. There we go. Unstuck ourselves. Shush. Shush, doggo. Otto, is this the water jet people? I'm having a frightful time with the ordinary. Any chance you could give it a quick whiz? I can't help. Notice your ad says power wash. You do realize that involves hot water. You should change the wording on your ad to pressure wash unless you're planning an upgrade soon. I think we are going to stop it for there today, folks. Thank you for tuning in, Joey, Lele, Vanessa. I'm so glad to have you and so glad to be able to talk to you. You too, as well, Sting, but you already know that. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Goodbye.